Alright, so let's look at our notebook first before we question her. Yeah, because there's a new clue. I've been trying very hard to change the subject when it comes to threats. He obviously knows more than he's willing to tell. Okay, so we got two more info. Ivan. Ivan's currently busy with some kind of meat substitute business. That's what he and his assistant told us anyway. Ivan was acting quite strange, and he hesitated when I mentioned how he met Natasha. It would be interesting to hear the story from another point of view. Yeah. Okay. Natasha is a mysterious woman indeed, and seems dangerous too. She's undoubtedly in serious trouble. The question is she the source of the problem, or is it someone else? Oh. Okay, I see her info is updated. It's the special feature, she has remarkably green eyes, and she is definitely in trouble, so am I. Okay.
Natasha is a confident woman. I can exploit that. But I must be careful. Every part of her oozes danger. That was a remarkable performance.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Do you perform here frequently? You're also the owner, if I'm not mistaken.
Sadly, I don't have the time, but the stage still calls my name, and I perform just a few times a year, and always with a new song.
Makes sense.
So that was all the excitement.
I have many admirers, if that's what you mean. Yes.
Okay. Let's go with the first one.
The place is very elegant, and so's your room.
Why, thank you.
I kind of feel like I'm in a museum.
Well, that depends on the kind of museum.
The kind with nice things.
So any museum?
Oh.
Suspiciously nice things, just like you.
Do you think I'm suspicious?
We'll see about that.
Try me.
Okay, so do you think one of your admirers might be behind the threats? Can you tell me about Island Slay? Let's go with the admirers
Do you
one
think
first.
one of your admirers might be behind the threats?
Those who admire me usually idolize me. No, I don't think it's one of them.
You know, the soul of an animal is extremely complicated. Sometimes all it takes is a bad look or some small rejection to turn admiration into hate.
That's a stillborn theory. No one hates me if they once loved me, Mr. Detective.
Ah, I see.
So we got the Russian old. Why Deborah? She's a nice girl, but why didn't you? Do you have any material evidence? Threats. Whole case stinks. What are you trying to make? Let's go with Deborah first.
Why Deborah? She's a nice girl, but why didn't you come to me?
Didn't you ask her the same thing already?
I did, but I like to hear it from all sides.
Well, since this whole thing started, I admit I'm not too keen on leaving my home. When I do, it's only with an escort.
Ibn Wessler has nothing to do with this?
Ibn has everything to do with me. Almost everything. But I didn't want to upset him with this. He thinks I'm overreacting.
Deep behind the diamond skin lies the truth. It doesn't matter how hard Natasha's trying to hide it. She's scared. Now I must concentrate to finally find out what I want to know.
What was in those threats exactly?
What was in those threats exactly?
The message itself is not a threat. It's just a word.
But a word again and again is threatening.
Exactly.
So,
You really don't have any idea which word could be used for a woman like me?
I've got a few, but be more specific.
I guess I do. Yes, I think I know what it could be.
Whore.
That was on the list.
Cat got your tongue? Am I right? You heard it. I said what you were thinking. And yes, that was in the message. That was printed on the paper and painted on my wall in giant red letters.
Well, thank you for your honesty.
What about Filmar? Is he here because of you? No one's ever seen the culprit, not even a shadow. I suggest you lie low, or the threats have anything to do with the dangerous relationship. If we want to go with like no one's ever seen a culprit or Fillmore. Go with Fillmore.
What about Filmar? Is he here because of you?
Mr. Lowe helped me before, and yes, he was the first I approached.
You've managed to curb my enthusiasm a little.
Doesn't keeping 2 irons in the fire give me a better chance? But you don't have to worry. He didn't find anything. And he's not interested anymore, no matter how much I offer to pay him.
Why?
You'll have to ask him.
I think I'll do that.
Okay. Dark shadow from the past, an ex-lover, a husband maybe. So it's not a fan, not an inside job. Who do you suspect with that last one?
So it's not a fan and not an inside job. Who do you suspect?
Aren't you supposed to know that?
Usually, yes. But I've got nothing to go on. And you don't have a hunch.
Maybe I do. But first, I want to know if you'll even accept my case.
I'm here, aren't I?
That's true, but I must know if I can trust you.
The proof of the pudding is in the eating.
I wish it was that simple.
Natasha is a mysterious woman, but I must gouge out at least one of her secrets. Enough games. It's time to know why I'm here.
Stop beating around. Molly?
Let's stop beating about the bush. How do you know Molly?
I'm prepared for that question, but it's still not easy.
You knew very well that if you threw in the name of my wife, I'd come to you no matter how vague and suspicious the case was. I just want to know if you're simply a manipulator or you're really that desperate.
I really know her. I'm not lying.
Oh, really? How? Were you a nurse, too? Forgive me, but I don't think so.
Don't be rude and so cynical, Sonny.
I'm sorry, but that's me when feline claws are at my throat.
Molly is an old and good friend of mine. She has nothing to do with this, but I knew that if I didn't mention it to you, you wouldn't have come.
Yeah, Natasha, you're right there.
I knew you were a decent fowl, that you would help me. That's what you're famous for.
Don't go there. Flattery doesn't work.
Look, forgive me. I shouldn't have brought your wife into this.
You're right, you shouldn't have. But to be honest, I don't think she's my wife anymore. On paper she is, but I haven't seen her in years.
I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Really?
I did. I knew. I checked you out before I sent Deborah.
Cluck me. This case is getting more and more intriguing.
So, played me from the start, didn't you? Well, we kind of already know that. What exactly do you want? Go with that one.
What exactly do you want from me?
You are really as good as they say you are. And I'm not selling lucky dips, Sonny. Find them, whoever they are, and...
Whatever it takes?
Not exactly, but something like that.
You know, if I didn't see the speck of fear behind the confidence shining in your eyes, I wouldn't take the case.
I'm not afraid.
You're terrified, Natasha. Don't be ashamed.
You must solve this. As soon as you can. Money's not an issue.
Not bad. Threat, or rather the threatening word in the message is said to Natasha simply 4. It's brief but says a lot regardless.
Just one more thing, Sonny.
Natasha?
Please, come to 37 Rochester Street in Flower Town tonight. I'd like to show you something that could be of a great help in your investigation.
I was afraid this was coming. Why there? Why not here and now?
It's something I keep hidden there. I won't take the risk of Ibn or one of his men seeing it.
Isn't Ibn too dangerous to keep secrets from?
Sonny, a woman is naked without her secrets. I knew you would understand.
Oh yeah, I understand everything. So, when do we meet? The night is almost over.
I'll be there in an hour. Don't be early, and don't be too late.
Look, Natasha, you know...
Please, this is very important to me.
Sure, I get it. I'll be there.
Thank you.
Until later, Natasha.
Goodbye, Sonny.
Okay.
Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the car?
I was bored to tears, Sonny. I also thought maybe something happened to you.
You thought Natasha had eaten me alive, huh?
Well, who knows? You're such a fragile little thing.
I'm too old for this, Marty.
Then next time, leave the dangerous predators to me.
I didn't mean that, Marty. I meant you.
Oh.
Oh. Alright. I don't think there's gonna be anything new. Yeah, they're gone. Maybe we can talk to her.
Oh, it's you. How can I help you, gentlemen?
Look, we really don't want to dig into your personal life, but...
But what exactly is my relationship with Mr. Wessler? And how close am I to him?
You
Yeah.
don't beat around the bush, ma'am.
Well, actually, I remember.
I don't have time to chit-chat, Mr. Featherland. So yes, I'm not one to beat around the bush. And no, I'm not sleeping with Mr. Wessler.
Well, thanks for the quick and straight answer.
Anything else?
We needed to talk to Fillmore before we left.
So, have you talked to Natasha?
In fact, yes. She was, kind of mysterious.
I bet she was. You know, I've never abandoned a case before. Not voluntarily, anyway. But that woman...
You're, too old for this shit, huh?
As you say, pal.
That's exactly how I felt, too.
Before you leave, take this and examine it closely.
What is it?
The reason I've decided all of this is not worth it for me.
Wow, that sounds encouraging.
Take care of yourselves, guys. This case, maybe it goes deeper than you'd think.
Oh, that makes my feathers stand on end.
Ah, old croakers. You're safe while I'm here. Okay, okay.
Nobody
I didn't
says
say
anything. Okay. I'm gonna be right back. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom. Alright, we are back. Okay, so let's check our journal and our inventory before we do anything. Clues, we have 3 new clothes. The Natasha is afraid and her fear is genuine. But she isn't telling me everything regardless, and I don't like it. That's not what I wanted. There you go. Natasha has invited me to her weekend house to show me something. In any other situation, I'd be glad about it, but in this case, I'm worried. The threat, or rather, threatening word message. Yeah. Read that. Fillmore. It seems Fillmore also used to work for Natasha, but he got out of the case before the ground got too hot. Anyway, he kept a piece of evidence, and it's any good at PI would. Which could be very useful to us. After the show, Ivan left the Tsar Club suspiciously fast. Yes. Oh, we can talk to the henchman now.
Excuse me, pal. My name is Santino Featherland.
Gabriel, what do you want? Chickens.
Do you happen to know where Mr. Wessler went?
Do you take me for a fool? Get out of here while I'm in a good mood, birds.
Okay. Thanks, big boy.
The girl was just adorable. I don't really think there's anything to do. Oh. Back at our journal. Okay. Gabriel the Grinder, Antipove. The Lynx male, special feature, quiet and deadly. He is most likely from Stowana. The Bobcat is most likely Ivan Wessler's goon. Okay. Let's check our inventory. Okay. That's the key.
We stepped into it, didn't we?
I can't even see that. It looks like maybe names and numbers?
We stepped into it, didn't we?
Okay. Yeah.
Hmm.
That's all we get from it right now.
Of all that's furry, what kind of a list is this?
Exactly. I have no idea, but I don't even want to find out.
Those names, all top dogs. Maybe they play cards together.
Sure, that's very likely. Anyway, I pried this list out of a dead man's hand. Somebody dropped him outside the forest, a few miles from the Wessler residence.
Oh.
I
Okay.
should have known she was keeping secrets.
Keeping secrets? She's the secret herself.
Thanks, Filmar. This could be important.
Don't thank me. Maybe I've just signed your death warrant.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Ah, shut up, Marty.
We've got a new place, which is Weekend House. Kasha Katsenko's Weekend House stands cleanest and most separated quarter of the city in Flowerville. Curious about what she's hiding there? The list with all those names. The list with all those imposing names must have something to do with Natasha and this with the threats too. I only recognize a few names on the list Filmar shoved into my hand, but all of them belong to the respected elite of Clawville. Could be a wedding rooster, but I doubt that's the case. Or a wedding roster. I doubt that's the case. Can't. Can we go anywhere else still? Man. Weekend House